Chris Kellett with museGrid.com. We're going to take a look at the mobile helper widget, which is part of the museGrid Spring Pack, which is a free pack of widgets that are available to anybody to download from museGrid.com, and there's some really useful widgets in there for day-to-day website building. So the mobile helper is for both tablet and mobile devices. If we drag it onto the page here, we'll see that when it first renders, we have this banner here. That banner disappears when the page is published. It's just purely in design view. But this allows us to see where the widget is and what that widget actually is as well, because usually you would just see code on the page, and that can sometimes when you've got a very complicated page, you may not be able to see what is what, so this makes it nice and easy for that. So what does this actually do? Well, there's some things that you may want to put into your mobile sites that aren't currently easy to do in Muse. You could copy and paste code into the page, but we've made it super easy for you with this widget. So we have things like the home screen URL button ID, use the pre-composed icons and so on. But what does all that mean? Well, let's take a look. So I'm just going to load up my phone onto the screen here, and we can see we have a website on the screen, one of our museGrid websites, and there's a couple of things that we might want to do with it. So we want to be able to add this site as an actual icon to the home screen. So I'm going to click on this share button here, and I'm going to click on the add to home screen. This is on iOS and Android devices. You could do a similar thing to this, and notice that this icon comes up. Now I've been able to determine what that icon is using the mobile helper widget, and then if I can type in what that's going to be, but I'm just going to leave it as is and then click add. Now what that does is it adds this home screen button to my iOS home screen. I'm just going to drag that onto another screen here. There we go. And so now that acts as kind of like an app. So when I click on it and open up the page, we can go straight into the site. So somebody could use this site as kind of like an app. So we have some really good tools to allow you to add that to both iOS and Android devices. So this is where this option comes in, the home screen URL. And we've got it called apple-icon.png. So you can use any name you like, but if you call your PNG file then it makes it easy to upload. So you just need a square 300 by 300, doesn't really matter, a square image, a PNG image. You could choose a resolution that was specific. I would say choose about 180 by 180. That's probably a good design size. And you put the name of the file there, and then you just go to File, Add Files for Upload, and if we go to our desktop here, we can choose an icon, and that will now be added to the assets for the site. And when the site uploads, it'll upload that icon, and then that will be sitting there so that when somebody clicks on the button to add it to their home screen, that'll be done. We've also injected the code in there. Let's have a look if we can preview the code, this page in the browser. Let's view the page source. And we can see in our settings here we have the Apple icon, and we've also got this other one here. This is using the same the same URL to the image, and this is for Android devices. So 128, that's a good icon size as well. Design it in Photoshop and push that out as a PNG. We also have the ability to switch on and off the Apple pre-compose. Now what that does is Apple will automatically add a gloss to their icons. So by using the pre-composed button, it will make sure that your icons appear flat in the device if you don't want the gloss on there. A couple of other settings we have: switch web app capable on. So when a site is added to somebody's home screen, the next time they click it, it will go into full screen mode. So it'll get away and get rid of any header and footer items, so that you can on the actual phone, that is not on the actual website, so that it reacts and feels a bit more like an app. Now that only works on the page that loads up. So if you've got a single page, that works really great, but if you've got a multi-page site, then the web app capability switches off when you go to a following page. You can also switch off auto number detection. So Muse automatically uploads code that allows telephone numbers to be detected. You can switch this off, and that means that any numbers on the page won't automatically be clickable as a telephone number. That might be useful if you've got numbers on a page that aren't telephone numbers, so you don't want people to try and call those numbers. We can also change the headings for on iOS devices. We can either have a black heading when it's in web app mode, or we can have a black transparent mode. So you can switch those on and off depending on what you want. So there's a couple of mobile settings there that are really useful and that allow you to build better mobile sites, and as more information and features become available for mobile devices, we'll obviously upgrade this widget. But for the most part, the main thing is the home screen button URL. That makes it very easy to add that feature into your site. So that's that widget. This again, if you need to watch this tutorial again, just click on the widget, click on the help and tutorials, and you come straight through to our videos here. Thanks for watching.